Hey guys, welcome to an OpenLM presentation. I am Sagi and I will be going over how to harvest your licenses and how to customize your reports. So basically, OpenLM has a few standard reports, a few built-in reports that most users use. But we get a lot of requests where users would like to know a few things about their license usage. They would like to get different insights about their usage. For example, they want to calculate another field. They want to create a different aggregation. So OpenLM is able to help them achieve that. Now, the second thing that I'll show you today is how to harvest licenses using the active agent, meaning that let's say you have someone that's not using the application, but it did check out a license, then you can automatically release his license, thus increasing license availability. So we'll get to that. We'll be talking basically about the active agent, which allows you to harvest those licenses, and the OpenLM Reporting Hub, which allows you to pretty much custom query your database however you'd like. Get all the insights that you'd like. So before I dive in, let's take a look at how you should organize the OpenLM components on your system in order to achieve the functionality of the active agent. So what you'll need to do, you have two ways of doing this. You can either connect the OpenLM agents, which sit on the workstations. You can connect them directly to the OpenLM server, or you can connect them to the applications manager, and in turn it will send information to the OpenLM server. So the reporting hub, it works a bit differently. The active agent, you'll need to install the agent on the workstations and it will transmit information to the server. But the reporting hub works a bit differently. It gets information from the server, runs a nightly ETL, meaning that it runs like a data engine that calculates, then aggregates the information and deposits it in a reporting database, which is very user-friendly, very easy to understand and work with. From then on, you can use any BI tool and create any report that you'd like. So that's the technical side, but let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at how you can custom query your database, custom report on many different fields that you might not have in OpenLM. So, for example, our users, well, you probably know this license usage report, also probably this denials report, license utilization, all the different reports which are built in to OpenLM. For example, even the license activity report, which allows you to aggregate the data by user group, whatever you choose. But for some users, for a lot of users, that's not enough. They would like to connect this information with outside information. They would like to group this information differently. They would like to get different insights from that information, not only usage time. Maybe they would like to see also different calculations on the usage time. Now, how is that achieved? It's achieved using a BI tool. Now, if you remember, what I said is just that the ETL simply runs and deposits information into a reporting database. Now, it's structured in a way that a BI can work with, because the primary OpenLM database is not structured in the right way. Meaning that, well, it has about 116 tables. You only need like 10. Those tables don't have any of the information that you want, the Reporting Hub has everything that you want. The data is not aggregated. Well, in the Reporting Hub, it gets aggregated how you need it. And if you try to connect the BI tool to the source OpenLM database, well, you're going to have a hard time. You're not going to find anything that you need. So this is why we created the reporting database. It's just a single place for you to connect with any BI tool that you want. You can even just use any editor that you want. Just a database. Connect to it with whatever. We give the Power BI desktop along with the Reporting Hub itself. It's a free Microsoft tool. There's also a cloud version to it, a free cloud version to it. You simply install it on your system and you gather all the information from the reporting database. Now, if you take a look at the right here, you'll see the structure. This is the actual structure of the reporting database. Now it's separated into dimensions and measures, which is pretty much the industry standard. This is how reports are made these days. And you got all the different dimensions you'll need that you can find in OpenLM. For example, everything about the license server feature, everything about the user if you want. You have idle times, aggregated session durations, concurrent usage, license quantity, denials, everything that you can think of. So what does this allow us to do? It allows you to create reports such as these, the one that you're seeing here. Now, just to give you an example, what are we looking at? Well, we're looking at a full aggregation per feature of how many denials they had, how many checkouts, how many users got denied, because I had like 92 denials. Does that mean I need 92 licenses? No, only 2 users got denied, so I need maybe 2 licenses. And I see it was like 46 denials per user, so I just need about two more licenses and I'll be okay. And I even see that the ratio is not that bad, because most of them, like 60% of it, was checkouts, like 30% was like denials. So you can get a lot of insight as a result. You can even click on it and everything else gets filtered accordingly. You can even drill down. Let's say that I want to know this feature, and I want to know which groups have been using it, so I can drill down. And it shows me that these groups have been using, this is their denial ratio, they got these users that got denied and how many times. It was super easy to create it. This, for example, this tells you how many licenses you need beyond the amount that you have. So here I need, in order to cover, what is it, 50%, let's say 80% of my denials, then I'll need 5 licenses, because I'm not covering the denials themselves, I need to cover the denied users. You got 1,000 denials, but from 1 user, from 1,000 users, do you need 1 license or 1,000? So you can get that aggregation. You can even do something like this. Let's choose a feature, and you can even have everything superimposed upon each other, everything that you're interested in, like you see here. For example, you see the license usage up to the license quantity, and then above that you see the denied user. So I had some sessions here, and then I had 1 denied user right here. Here I had like 3 denied users, and I get a complete picture of what went on in my system. I don't need to try and combine different reports. They're already combined. So you can do many things with it. For example, get who is active right now, who is not active, which licenses were not used. You can aggregate the license activity however you'd like, by group, by feature, whatever you choose. Now, let me give you an example, just a small, short example. Before I move on to the active agent, I'll give you an example of how easy it is to create a new report using a BI tool. Now keep in mind that this BI tool, everything that you see here, this whole dashboard, This is a Microsoft tool. It's a free Microsoft tool, but you can use any BI tool that you want. Tableau, Click, CSense, whatever you use, you can use that as well, or just use the default Power BI reporting hub. So, how easy it is to create a new report for those of you who simply don't have not heard of BI yet? So if this is the structure, it's so simple, let's try and put it into practice. Let's say that we want to know the session duration per user. So we just go to user dimension, get the user inside, get to session duration, get the session duration inside, and that's it. Boom, I got a report. Maybe I want that by group as well. I can add groups in there. Maybe I want to turn that into a bar chart. Maybe I want to be able to drill down from the group to the user. So Chinese marketing, who used these users? So I made this report in about 10 seconds. You have many options for many different reports. You can combine them together. It's real simple to get insights. Let's say your manager comes up to you and says, oh, feature AutoCAD 2017. How well was it utilized by these groups? How long did it take? How long daily? And God knows what he's going to ask you. So you'll go probably to the base reports of OpenLM and they'll give you an answer like 90% of the times. But about 10% of the times that your manager needs an answer, you couldn't find that in the source OpenLM database. You couldn't find, in the interface of OpenLM. You'll need to get the data out and start playing with it. Just like you're probably doing now, you're exporting Excel from OpenLM and playing around with it. You're exporting a CSV file and playing with it with Excel. But it's manual. You need to get the CSV file every time. You need to filter it for every feature, everything. It can get time consuming. So this makes the whole process automatic. It runs by itself, nightly runs. You don't even know that it runs. When you open up the report, you simply click refresh, and that's it. It refreshes the data, and a minute or two after, you can start working. Now, it also has a cloud version for it. So you'll be able to get it on the cloud. There's a free version on the cloud and also a pro version on the cloud. Now, here you'll be able to, let's say, export to PDF or maybe publish to the web. So you like get an embedded code, and you can just have users access that data and that report just using the embedded link itself. Let's see it. There we go. So it's just a link. Anyone can access it. If you send them the link, they can access. They can play around with the data as you defined. And that's basically it for the reporting hub. Now, if you have any questions before I move on to the active agent part, then go ahead, ask using the GoToWebinar questions box. You can simply ask. I'll be happy to answer. Okay, I have a question here asking how can we link BI with OpenLM. So this is exactly what I was showing. You use the reporting hub. Let me go back here. So if this is the OpenLM server and database, the ETL runs each night and creates a reporting database. The reporting database holds all of OpenLM's data. Then you can use any BI tool to read from that database. And connecting the BI to the source primary OpenLM database, you're not going to get just about anything out of that. You're probably not going to get session duration. You're not going to get concurrent usage. You won't have a license quantity, barely denials. So if you connect it to the source OpenLM database, you won't find anything, and it won't be supported. But if you use the Reporting Hub and you connect to the reporting database, then it is supported and you get everything unchanged, meaning that if you connect to the primary OpenLM database and we change it with the next update, then you'll need to change all your reports and all your templates, and that's a pain. So you'll have the reporting database which will have the same structure each time. Even on updates, you'll have the same structure. So you won't need to change your reports, anything. Everything will stay as it is, even if the source OpenLM database changes. Okay, if you would like more information about it, then you can come to me. I can give you a demonstration. Send an email to support@openlm.com or call us up on the chat. We can have a demonstration and see if it fits your exact needs. Okay, but now moving on from reporting, because we've seen that, okay, now we'll be able to know our usage and we'll be able to cut costs as a result, because we see our usage, we see everything as we need it. But we can also influence the sessions themselves, not only get reported on them, we can also influence the sessions. Meaning that, well, I'm going to open an AutoCAD application, meaning I'm going to pull an AutoCAD license. And the OpenLM agent that's installed on the workstation, now this is a workstation right here. So the OpenLM agent installed on the workstation monitors that process and is able to tell first if it's idle or not, meaning if the user is actually using the application or maybe is not using the application, but it did get the license, meaning that that license is now sitting idle. No one is using it. So in order to remedy that, there's the active agent, the OpenLM active agent. It's an extension which allows you to, first of all, get the idle time and see who's idling, but you'll also be able to remotely close the application, either save and close the application or suspend it. Let me show you what I mean. So I've opened an AutoCAD application on the workstation. So now let's open up the currently consumed licenses. This is me, Sagi, this is my feature, this is the workstation I'm working out of. This is when I started, just about everything. And just to the right here, you can see also my duration, and you see also idle time. So you'll be able to know as an admin if your end users are actually using the application, or maybe they're just idling. I know that I did that in my last job. I would come into the lab, I work in a laboratory, I would come into the lab, get a license, and that's it. I would keep it there for months. So now with OpenLM, you'll have an option to simply say close app. And in about a minute or two, the AutoCAD application will be remotely closed just by clicking here. But it can also be set to close automatically when a certain idle time has been reached. So let's say someone is using for 10 hours. Then you don't want him to keep using if he's idling for 10 hours, for 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever. If he's idling, you don't want him to keep using it. You want to retract the license back into the license pool. So you can set the system to release the license automatically. So we just missed it. The AutoCAD application was automatically closed. We got a pop-up right here that says OpenLM agent has recently closed AutoCAD exe at system administrator's request. Now I can click open and it reopens AutoCAD if there's a license available. Now this is pretty cool. This means that, well, your users will be idling at first, yeah, but you'll be able to know that. You'll be able to issue them an email saying that, hey, you've been idling for too long, or they'll see that their application has been closed, so they'll know next time not to idle so much. And if they forgot it, it will harvest the license automatically, thus increasing license availability. The license will be available for more of the time, so you can have like 10 licenses and they're stressed, maxed out all the time. You start using this, you'll see that suddenly it's not stressed. You got 10 licenses, but it's enough. You don't need more because users are using it wisely. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, does it kill the application? Well, no, it doesn't kill the application. The work is saved. So there are a few ways of doing this. I'm going to open up just to explain it a bit better. So you got a save and close option, meaning that the application is being saved and closed. Now, how does it know to save it? Let's say we're on the workstation, right? We got the OpenLM agent on the workstation, and we also got AutoCAD right here. Now, AutoCAD has a little API that allows the agent to come and talk to it. And it just says, hey, can you please save and close this application? And the AutoCAD API just says, yeah, okay, no problem, and just gracefully saves and closes the application. Now, this is only for SolidWorks, for FlexLM, only for SolidWorks, MATLAB, ArcGIS, and Autodesk applications, because only they have this little API that we can interact with. But okay, let's say that it's not one of the big four. Let's say that you're using NX, Siemens NX, and you want to be able to do the same. Well, you can use the Suspend Resume option. Now, what is that? The application on the end user workstation is being suspended, and the license is released on the license manager. So what happens really? The agent on the end user workstation tells the OpenLM server to tell the OpenLM broker he can release the license because the process is frozen. Let's say that you set an idle time. If it's more than 6 hours of idle time, or maybe 1 hour of idle time, then suspend the application. So it will suspend the application and release the license. Once the user wants to get the license back, so he clicks get the license, the OpenLM agent again goes to the OpenLM server, which goes to the OpenLM broker, which gets the license back. This way, the application is frozen on the end user workstation and has no license on the license server, but it's been unthawed, unfrozen when the license server has a license for it. So there won't be any miscommunications. Now, okay, let's say that you're not using one of these applications. It's not a FlexLM application. Now, this save and release, suspend resume is for all FlexLM applications, everything. But let's say you're not using, it's not a FlexLM application, it's not SolidWorks, MATLAB, ArcGIS, or Autodesk, then you can use the agent procedures. Now, agent procedures is a bit more violent because it takes a look at the processes, and the agent simply kills the process if it's idling for too long. So it's not like the save and close where it's gracefully saved and closed. No, it's a violently killed process. Now, this is for any application which is not FlexLM managed and not one of these big four. Let's say even custom-made applications, even applications that you created yourself, or maybe applications without a certain license. For example, I'm going to open Notepad. Now, I'm also tracking Notepad. Now, this can be any type of application. I'm just opening Notepad to show you that it's any application with a Windows process. So let's look at the details. Any application with a Windows process can be monitored and killed as well. So it can be killed, but you can also run a custom command on the end user workstation. Let's say the custom command you want to run is running a message, popping up a message saying that, hey, you've been idling for too long. Please put back the license. So you can do that. Or you can just kill the process, whatever you choose. You can even just suspend the process, whatever you choose. What we've seen people use it for is mainly custom applications, and they want to run their own applications and they want to be able to control them. So we've seen people use this with custom commands for gracefully saving and closing any applications that they created, for example. They have a CMD script they can run using the agent. So besides that, you can see that, let's go to license servers. So you can see that the session of Notepad here, it's just like any other session with an idle time and everything. So we can either close sessions, as you've seen it do, or you can prevent them from even being opened in the first place. So that is with the applications manager, which allows you to monitor any type of application, either floating license, named license, node locked, just about anything. And it allows you to set different rules for getting the license. So I'm just going to quickly go over it. I'm not going to really go over all the details, but it allows you to deny or allow usage when certain criteria are met. Let's say that if the application is Autodesk and the version is 2017 and the time is after 8 and we can add a group even, then deny usage. Now if I go to the workstation and I try to get AutoCAD right now, then I'm denied. Denied due to normal USA working hours rule, and I also have a message popping up outside of working hours because I set the normal USA working hours rule here. And I said deny, and when denying, I said pop up this message and tell the user that is outside working hours. Now if we allow it, I'll be able to get the license normally. I won't get denied by the applications manager. Now the denial that you've seen is not by the license server, but by the applications manager itself. And that's about it. I really don't want to go over everything OpenLM has to offer because, well, OpenLM has a lot to offer. I just wanted to show you how you can increase availability and get better reporting capabilities from OpenLM, either saving and closing different applications if they've gone idle, or even getting custom reports on exactly what you need to know. You can even create new fields, like if I click here, you'll see it's a calculation of a field. It's like a count of this divided by a count of that, and you can pretty much do whatever you want with it. So either flexibility, license reporting flexibility, or license harvesting, OpenLM has got you covered and can allow you to increase your utilization by decreasing the amount of licenses that you have, because you'll have less licenses, but all of them will be freer, more available. And that's it. I would like now to hear from you guys. I would like you to go ahead, ask any questions that you'd like about the Reporting Hub, about the Applications Manager, about the Active Agent, whatever you want to know, just go ahead, use the GoToWebinar questions box, just ask whatever. I see I have a few questions waiting for me already. But if you have nothing you want to ask and you just remember later that you want to ask that, so you can go to our website and either call us up. We got a number there. You can go to contact us and you'll see our number. Just call us up, or you can click here on the right and you'll get a chat box that you can simply call us up and chat with us. It rings all across the offices. It's the fastest way to get a quick response. Now you can also send us an email to support@openlm.com. We'll be happy to help. So what do we have here? So Noor is saying, so we should have OpenLM Reporting Hub. You can take it for a test drive. You can take it for 30 days of evaluation if you're a client. Once you get it evaluated, you can decide if you want to keep it or not, if it gives you the solutions that you need or not, whatever you choose. Is the reporting database different from the OpenLM database we install normally? Very much so. Let me show you. The OpenLM database, well, maybe I have it here. Let me show you. The OpenLM database has 116 different tables that we always change. Like every major version, we change them. So we've got a lot of tables right here. You'll need to pick and choose which one you need. Now, mostly you won't be able to find what you need. Like, let's say you want to know concurrent usage. You want to know usage. You won't find it there. It's calculated on the fly by the OpenLM interface. On the fly. You won't find anything here. You want duration. You won't find duration here. Again, it's calculated on the fly. If you want to get duration and put it on a time scale, well, you won't be able to do that with this database. This database is made specifically for the OpenLM interface, and pretty much nothing else can really give you the insights that you're looking for. But the Reporting Hub, what it does, it has all the pre-calculated queries and everything. It will deposit everything into the reporting database, as you see here. Deposit everything in this structure. Let me know if it looks a bit simpler, like you got user dimension. So what is user dimension, for example? User dimension simply holds everything about the user, his username, password, everything. So what's a measure, for example? Well, very simple. You got a measure, you got a session duration here. You want denials? You can get denials, count them. You want concurrent usage? You got it as a field. You want license quantity? It's here as a field. It's made to be user-friendly, to be BI-friendly. Because the source OpenLM database, as you see here, is not BI-friendly. It's not friendly for anything but the OpenLM interface. So for this, we need the OpenLM Active Agent extension? No. Reporting Hub and Active Agent are two separate things. Reporting Hub allows you to get better reports. Active Agent allows you to harvest licenses. You don't need one for the other. But again, we can set up an evaluation of 30 days for both. Go ahead, Anur. the name of the free version of the BI tool, it's called Power BI Desktop. It's free. Just write down Power BI. Boom, you can download it. Power BI Desktop, free, totally free, Microsoft tool. You can go ahead and use it, no problem. Anur is asking on feature usage status, does it include reserved licenses? Yeah, it includes reserved licenses because reserved licenses show up as like used usage. Yeah, on license usage, there is an option to exclude unconsumed reservations. But Anur, I think it's a bit off topic. If you would like to know a bit more about the OpenLM user interface, I suggest that you call us up, send an email to support, maybe call us on chat, and we'll be happy to help. But as for the webinar now, this is a bit off topic. Okay, guys, so, you're most welcome, Noor. I really suggest call up support, or you can send an email to sales, to Chaim as well. Ask for an evaluation for both extensions. And you can get 30 days, just play around with it, see if it fits. It might not fit. You might play around with it and see that it doesn't give you the answer that you need. Maybe it does. So just go ahead, try it out. We believe it's the best option. Oh, you're most welcome, Abhijit. Okay, so if no one has any more questions, I would like to thank you very much for joining me on this webinar today. I hope you learned a bit about the extensions of OpenLM. We hope to see you in our support tickets for installation of evaluation versions. In any case, thank you very much. Have a great day, guys.